If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, DaBaby graces the cover of Billboard, and Machine Gun Kelly's bodyguards get arrested for beating up some actor. YNW Melly sends a message to his fans from jail, and Ludacris goes back to college. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, yo, this is amazing, right? Because, yo, we are literally sitting here watching DaBaby get, like, rich as hell, right? Like, we watching DaBaby, like, come up, like, right now. Like, we done seen DaBaby go from had to hustle, back to the ball, ashy knuckles, to, like, you know, buying new chains and having the #1 country, album in the country and being on the cover of Billboard and all kind of craziness, right? Like, yo, DaBaby is on fire out here, right? So he sits down, he does an interview with Billboard, and they kind of ask him about, like, all of that and, like, what is going on with him and, like, how do you feel about the superstardom and the fame, right? And he's like, yo, I was built for this, right? He says that his style, he compares himself to Lil Wayne, Drake, and then Kanye West. He says he's as creative as Kanye West. He's as consistent as Lil Wayne. He's as versatile as Drake, right? And I think that's fire, man, because this is the first year that, like, DaBaby has really blown up. And if he's gonna be staying here in hip hop, and I think that he is, I think DaBaby's gonna be a legend, then we'll be able to see him, like, go through his phases, you know, musically, you know, career-wise and everything, right? This is just the beginning, which is so dope, right? He said that, you know, he was built for this, he set up for this. He says that, you know, he's a fly ass nigga, and he shouted out LeBron James for giving him a shout out. And he also compared himself to Rick James, right? Basically saying that, like, Rick James is a bad motherfucker, right? And he wants to be, or that he is a bad motherfucker as well, right? So the whole reason why he even compared himself to Rick James is because the person that interviewed him was basically asking him, like, would you ever go pop, right? Or like hip pop, right? So, like, I don't know, who's a hip hop artist? Maybe like a Nicki Minaj, maybe, or like a Lizzo. Like, they're hip hop, but they also pop at the same time, or Missy Elliott, right? And he says, you know, or like Lil Nas X, right? So he says, you know, I don't think I could ever fully go pop, really, but he's gonna be a crossover artist like a Rick James, right? So he basically says that, like, Rick James is the type of person that always stayed true to himself and always stayed true to his sound, but he was accepted in, you know, the pop, you know, area or the circle of pop music because his music was so popular that it kind of crossed over, right? So he's saying that he will end up going pop because it's going to cross over, but he's going to go pop with the same kind of music and sound and the same kind of, you know, integrity that he has right now today, right? And all that was fire, man. I really can't think of another artist. I mean, like, this nigga, DaBaby is like the new hotness, right? Like, I can't think of another artist that is as big as DaBaby right now. I mean, so Meg Thee Stallion, maybe? Meg Thee Stallion and DaBaby are both on fire, right? This kind of reminds me of, like, when XXXTentacion got out of jail, right? When Triple X got out of jail, when Look At Me was out, and he was like, look at me, before he did that first interview where he was talking about Drake and everything like that, I kind of felt like Triple X was on fire, right? And that's where DaBaby is right now, but I even see that DaBaby is passing Triple X because obviously, you know, DaBaby will be here and alive, and, you know, rest in peace to XXXTentacion, but DaBaby is going to, you know, keep bringing his career up and up, you know? And this is just crazy, man. But it's dope, yo. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Alright, so that clip was from surveillance footage of, I guess they were like in a hotel lobby or something like that, or in a barista or whatever like that, and you can see that that person who was getting like slammed on the floor was this actor by the name of G-Rod, right? And G-Rod, he actually called Machine Gun Kelly a pussy a couple minutes prior to that, and those people that were beating him up were Machine Gun Kelly's bodyguards, right? So the whole thing is that G-Rod, well, first of all, he's a character actor, so like a lot of times you might see him like in the background. You know, he's not like a actor that's really prominent or ever starred in anything. But let's say you got like a mob boss, and you know the boss has 3 goons behind him. G-Rod might be like one of the goons, one of the mob boss's goons, right? He's played like in Power. He's been like in a couple of other things like The Purge or whatever like that. And you might have missed him. He also does a lot of stunts for like a lot of people too, right? But anyway, so the whole thing is that, they were in a club, right? And so this dude, G-Rod, sees Machine Gun Kelly, calls him pussy for whatever reason, right? I think that G-Rod is an Eminem fan, and ever since, Machine Gun Kelly had to beef with Eminem, there's certain fans of Eminem that will just approach Machine Gun Kelly. The only thing is that this dude, G-Rod, is like a big dude, right? Plus, he is, I wouldn't say he's famous, but people know him, and he is kind of like a celebrity, so he has more access to Machine Gun Kelly, to whereas a regular Eminem fan might be screaming, fuck you, Machine Gun Kelly, from across the club, right? And they can't get near him. This dude, G-Rod, was probably like right next to him in his section at his table, while Machine Gun Kelly's right over here in his section, like, yo, nigga, you pussy, right? So it's a little bit more close to home, right? So it was there in the club. It was outside that they also had a confrontation outside of the hotel, and then inside the lobby of the hotel, he's still antagonizing Machine Gun Kelly. So they, Machine Gun Kelly's security guards step in and do what they had to do, which is, knock the motherfucker out, right? So then this dude decides to press charges on Machine Gun Kelly, right? And the bodyguards, well, really not Machine Gun Kelly, but the bodyguards, and then the police, they were investigating this thing for a year. So what you need to know is that clip was from like September 2018, and it is now October 2019, right? So that thing happened a long time ago, and they're just getting arrested now. Yo, it's a little scuffle, so I don't think that anything too crazy is gonna happen with Machine Gun Kelly's bodyguards or anything like that. Maybe Machine Gun Kelly will have to pay a little bit of money out of pocket or whatever like that, but Machine Gun Kelly has declined all comments about this whole situation, and they're also looking for a third bodyguard who hasn't turned himself in yet, and really I don't think that they really need to, right? But we'll see what happens. This dude, G-Rod, said that he'll drop all the charges if Machine Gun Kelly decides he wants to fight this dude one-on-one, like in a ring or something like that, maybe for charity or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But really, Machine Gun Kelly, even though he's tall and he's like 6'7", he's mad skinny, right? And so he's probably in a different weight class than this other dude is, right? And that's exactly what he would want to do, is get Machine Gun Kelly in a ring so that he could beat up and beat on and bully Machine Gun Kelly, right? So MGK was like, nah, hell nah, yo. You could go do what you gotta do, and I'll pay bail money. And the dudes that got arrested are already out on bail anyway, so, it's all good. It's not like they got, caught on camera shooting somebody, right? They're on camera fighting somebody with their bare hands. And their job is security. So, if anything, they could be like, I was securing my artist, which is what they were really doing. They didn't even know this dude, G-Rod, before that night. So, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below.
Man, what it is, y'all already know who it is, man. It's your boy YNW Melly, and I just want to give a shout out. But thanks to all my fans and all the DJs who keep spinning my record, 223 featuring Block 9. I really appreciate it. I couldn't go without y'all. Thank y'all for everything. And I just want to let y'all know, man, I went gold and left and white to go platinum in another 4 weeks. Thank y'all for everything. Y'all know I got more music coming on the way. Melly versus Urban and album. Yeah. Y'all stay tuned.
Alright, yo, so that was YNW Melly, right? And this is crazy because he's still sitting in jail awaiting trial, right? And for y'all that don't know, YNW Melly is on trial right now for a double murder of his 2 friends, YNW Juvie and YNW Sat Chaser, right? Basically, the cops say that YNW Melly pulled up to a hospital, and basically that he was like, yo, we just got caught up in a drive-by and I think my 2 friends are dead, right? But the cops are saying that he shot his friends and then shot at the car, and then pulled up to the hospital trying to act like there was a drive-by when there was really no drive-by at all, right? So at that time, when he dropped them off at the hospital, the cops was just like, oh, really? Wow, that's crazy. I hope you're okay, YNW Melly. We'll take care of your friends. But then a couple months later, they went and arrested YNW YNW Melly, saying that upon further investigation, it seems like you're the one that shot your friends, right? We don't know yet because he's still waiting for his trial, but he has been denied bail, right? So he's in good spirits though. He's sitting in jail. He's always been positive. He's saying, yo, I'm coming home. It seems like he's built for this. Every single picture I see of him, he's smiling from ear to ear. You see all the diamonds in his mouth. He's just like, yo, I'm here. And he is very confident that he's going to be getting out, right? I saw something though. It seems like he said, well, 65% that he's going to be getting out, right? But the whole thing is that, you know, he's talking about, yo, you know, stream my new song with Glock 9, you know, which he says is dope or whatever like that. So I'll check it out. But he had a lot of potential, right? And I feel like he's gonna go down unsung, right? Just like a Tay-K or somebody like that, right? And Tay-K and him have a lot of similarities because they both were just about to blow up, and then all of a sudden they get arrested for murder, right? In this case though, you know, Tay-K already got arrested and convicted for 55 years. So Tay-K is definitely going to be gone for a while. But YNW Melly still hasn't been convicted of anything. So potentially he could end up getting out of jail or end up getting out of prison just based on what happens during his trial, right? Now, my personal opinion though is that the longer the prosecutors take to bring you to trial, the better it kind of looks for you, right? And I say that kind of because it's like maybe they don't have enough, right? Because if they had enough, if they had all their ducks in a row, if they had all the evidence, if they had all the documentation and everything like that, they'll be jumping at the opportunity like, yup, let's go, let's take them to court, let's get this conviction done, right? Let's knock it out, right? But because they're taking so long to get everything together and build a case on YNW Melly, I feel like they might be missing something, or they're not ready, or they're not prepared to go to court. And because of that, it seems like YNW Melly may have a good chance to probably come home, right? So unlike 6ix9ine, right? They were like, yup, let's go to court, you know, and they started taking everybody from 9 Trey to court, right? 6ix9ine, Mel Murda, Jimmy, well, not Jimmy, Shoddy, everybody, right? And the reason why is because they had wiretaps, they had video, they had, you know, witnesses, people working with the feds that were implanted into 9 Trey, like CEO Chris and all that, right? For YNW Melly, they don't have all of that stuff, right? So they just have right now a lot of circumstantial evidence and a lot of things that seem fishy or doesn't look right, right? But you can't convict a person on murder because something seems fishy or because it doesn't look right. You better have proof that he did it, right? So we'll see, I guess. But YNW Melly in the meantime is staying positive, and it seems like he's in good spirits. Also recently I saw a freestyle or a song from YNW Slime, which is YNW Melly's younger brother, and YNW Slime seems to be pretty dope and pretty talented, just like his brother, right? But B Slime must be like 11 to 12 years old, so he got a long way to go, and I'm sure like his voice will change and everything during that time. But we'll just have to see what's going on, man. And it seems like there's fans that are still out here holding it down for YNW Melly, and of course, you know, hoping that he comes home. So let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. So Ludacris goes back to college, right? And I mean, he's not going back to college really, but he's going to be working in a college, right? So Georgia State, where he used to go back when he was younger. I don't think he graduated, but like in the late 90s, like a long ass time ago, I guess he went to Georgia State, right? And the whole thing is that they reached out to him and they were like, it would be cool if you could come back and be what's called an artist in residence, right? So what he's going to be doing is, that's for the whole fall semester. So he's going to be there. He's going to be giving kids like advice and mentoring kids and kind of just helping them with like film production and letting them know about the industry and music production, and just kind of giving his advice as a seasoned veteran and somebody who's won 3 damn Grammys, right? And this is crazy because I don't know if like an artist in residence means that he's gonna have a classroom where he's like teaching a class on all things music industry or film industry. I don't know if that means he'll just have like an office in the corner somewhere where, you know, they can schedule something and then come sit down with him and talk to him. Is he gonna be there every day, like just walking around the halls like, oh, hey, Professor Luda, you know, like I don't know like exactly what the exact, you know, specifics are of what he's going to be doing, but he will be there, and he's called an artist in residence. So somewhere in that damn campus, you'll see Ludacris, you know, walking around talking to somebody, you know what I mean? Maybe he'll be there once a week. I don't know, but we'll see. I think this is cool that he's giving back, and especially to a college that's in his, you know, old town that he grew up in, and also a college that he even went to, right? So he's literally giving back directly, you know, and giving, you know, value to a college that helped him get value and become who he is today, right? So of course, like with Ludacris walking around the halls, this is going to be good for public relations for Georgia State. This is going to be great for, you know, them to be like, hey, we had Ludacris as an artist of residency, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that, right? So I think it's dope. I think it's fire. And shout out to Ludacris for giving back to the community, really and truly, right? Let me know what y'all think about this and everything else in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Jonny Fastlane on Instagram, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.